there. So I'm finishing up a blog post today about how empaths can protect their energy. And I'm all wound up because I just figured out this new metaphor for boundaries. And you might be wondering, okay, well, what do boundaries have to do with protecting my energy? And I have to tell you, boundaries are everything for protecting your energy. They are essential. And that's kind of the whole point of this post that I just created, was that really no energy protection can happen without putting boundaries in place. So here's the metaphor that I'm kind of excited that I thought of today. So imagine that your energy is like the air in a car tire. And the air is essential, right? You can't get anywhere if your tire is flat. The air is really important part of the function of the car and the tire. And over time, the tire gets worn down, right? It gets holes from nails in the driveway. Different things happen to it that we can weaken the edges. The tread wears down, right? So all these things kind of naturally occur against a tire. So what do? You take care of your tire. You get them rotated. You get the holes fixed. You get them replaced when you need to. You put on chains for the winter. There's all these things that we do because that air is so essential that we have to. There's no choice. You really have to take care. And anyone who hasn't taken care of their tires knows how much it sucks to be on the side of the road with something that we could have taken care of a long time ago, or with bald tires slipping around on the snow. I've definitely done that myself. And so what does this have to do with you and your boundaries? The tire, that rubber piece, is just like your boundaries. It is absolutely essential to your energy and feeling good on your day-to-day. So when we're not taking care of our boundaries, when we've let people poke holes in them, when we've weakened them by saying yes too many times, all of that leaks out of our energy. Our air starts to get depleted, and we wonder why we're feeling resentful. We wonder why we're so exhausted. And all of these things are because our boundaries have been weakened or not taken care of. So what does that really look like in real life? We're not tires. We can't just go get ourselves replaced. It means, first of all, understanding what a boundary is. It's you declaring what is okay and what's not okay for yourself, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And physically is pretty obvious, right? Physically, we say, hey, friends and family, like, I love you. We can hug. Total strangers, whoa, no, that's not okay. You can't hug me right away. That's not something I'm okay with. That's a pretty easy one to declare for most of us, although if you've had trauma in the past, sexual abuse, physical abuse, that can make those physical boundaries feel harder to understand. So that's definitely a factor for some people. Emotional and spiritual boundaries are a little tougher. I think the best way to describe those is that they are deciding what aligns or doesn't align with your spirit, your soul, and your true self. And so that might seem like it's not too concrete, but once you start to understand yourself and your soul, you can start to say, oh, that aligns or doesn't align. So the example I use in the post is when we agree to do something extra volunteering at your kid's school, extra volunteering for more projects at work, extra volunteer, anything outside that you're saying yes to outside of your normal day-to-day. And really thinking about, does this align with my true best self? And for me personally, my true and best self really thrives when I feel calm, when I feel in control, when I feel really peaceful with my decisions and the things that I've chosen to do. And sometimes when I choose to do those extra things, all of a sudden I'm pushed into overwhelm, resentment, and stress. And those don't align. And sometimes doing that extra thing does align, right? Like it feels really good to give back, or it feels really good to spend more time with so-and-so, or whatever it might be. But that's where the boundary has to come into place, deciding when that feels good and when it doesn't. So seeing what really aligns with your most highest spiritual self is how you create those emotional and spiritual boundaries. To read more about boundaries and keeping your air safe and loving, you can check out my latest blog post or shoot me a message through my website, tenderheartco.com. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.